Welcome to this week's episode of Kidlet 6. I'm your host, Julie, and each week we get to spend 6 minutes together connecting with authors, celebrating book birthdays, and discovering great books. As a reminder, all the books mentioned in today's episode are listed down below, so if you hear about a book that you think sounds interesting, you can look down there to get all the information. Now, you might be wondering what I'm doing in the kitchen, and that's because I was baking cookies, and that reminded me of a few books I wanted to share with the Kidlet 6 viewers. All of these books have something to do with cooking and baking, so if you like those things, you're definitely going to want to check out these books. The first one is The Doughnut Fix, and this is the story of Tris. In the first book in the series, he discovers the recipe for life-changing chocolate donuts. In this book, he's building up his donut business and he becomes a contestant on a cooking competition. The next book is Glitter Gets Everywhere, and this is the story of Kitty, who lives in London, and then her mom dies and their family decides they're going to go spend some time in New York City. But Kitty has a neighbor who is a contestant on a baking show, and so they do a lot of connecting over that and they watch the show together. And so if you are looking for some baking and cooking inspiration, this is a good book for you. The third book is A Recipe for Disaster, and this is the story of Hannah. And all throughout the book, there are sprinkled in recipes that Hannah makes with her grandma. And so if you are looking to find actual recipes, this book is filled with them. Also, down below, there's a link to a cookbook filled with recipes from your favorite books. You can download that cookbook for free and cook along with your favorite main characters. I hope these books inspire you to head to the kitchen and bake and cook right along with your favorite main characters.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Swanson, and I am a children's author, and I love to write books about science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM, because I think STEM rocks. Here is my new book, The Secret Science of Sports. The math, physics, and mechanical engineering behind every grand slam, triple axel, and penalty kick. If you like sports, this is the book for you, because maybe you don't know it, but there is science and technology in everything you do when you play sports, in softballs, in baseball bats, in tennis rackets, golf balls, everything you can think of. And this book has it all. And the cool thing about it is, let me show you the inside. I actually have things in here, lots of diagrams and exercises, activities that you can do to have fun with this book. So give it a check out, The Secret Science of Sports. And when you're done with this, if you're looking for another book about sports, check out Sports Science and Technology in the Real World by Slingerland. Also a really awesome book. Go sports and STEM.
What would happen if you took a goat to school? That's exactly what the main character does in this week's Kidlet 6 book of the week, Better with Butter. 12-year-old Marvel is afraid of absolutely everything. Earthquakes, food poisoning, amusement park rides, the big pile of plastic out in the middle of the ocean, making new friends, getting called on in class, having to walk home from school by herself. Marvel is afraid of absolutely everything. And then one day, on the way home from school, she finds an unlikely friend, an adorable fainting goat. If you are a reader who likes animals or can relate to Marvel's feelings of being afraid and anxious, then you'll want to pick up your copy of this week's book, Better with Butter. The day a book first comes out is called a publication date. It can also be called its book birthday, and since that's way more fun, we're going to go with that. So let's get ready to celebrate a few of this week's book birthdays. First up is Violets Are Blue by Barbara D. Wren loves makeup, special effects makeup to be exact. She loves experimenting with new looks and its different versions of herself. But what happens when her parents get divorced and she moves to a new town? Our next book birthday is Across the Desert by Dusti. Jolene sets out across the treacherous Arizona desert to rescue a young pilot who was stranded when their plane crashed. Our next book birthday is Sorry for Your Loss by Joanne Levy. Evie's family runs a Jewish funeral home, and so she's always known she was going to be a funeral director when she grew up. And then one day, her family asks her to help with Orrin, a young boy who was in a horrific car accident that killed both of his parents. The best way to celebrate a book birthday is to read the book. So head to your local library or bookstore and pick up your copy of these books today. Now join me in wishing these authors and their books a happy book birthday. Of a character in the book who bribes and tricks others and other such skullduggery. Do you think you can use skullduggery in your own sentence? Try creating your own sentence with the word skullduggery, and then you can share it with us on social media at Kidlit6. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Kidlit6. We can't wait to see you again next week. In the meantime, we'd love to hear what you're reading, and you can email us at the address listed below. Have a great week and happy reading!